Hello and welcome again to Excelsior Trading. I'm Don Carlo, your host, coming to you in my messy living room in my comfortable house coat, Ralph Lauren. And today we're going to be discussing a watch. Got a very long title. It's the Gunhild Faering Collection Vegvisir Adventure Automatic with date. And it's sitting on my 6.5 inch wrist. Got a crane all the way over. Yep, sits very well. Yeah, let's do it upside down. Maybe that's better. Yeah. Um, and what I think about this watch. So I'm going to take it off here. And the first thing we'll discuss is its double deployant clasp. It is machined out. It's not thin. It's very robust and it's very smooth. It doesn't pull any of my hairy hairs out of my hairy wrist. Double clasp. And it has a lot of micro adjustments. It has this beautiful axe, warrior's axe, on the screw down case back. Now let's get into some details about this watch. I'll discuss its basic details and then I'm probably going to get into what I don't like about this watch. And we'll get into price point. So this is a dive watch, ceramic bezel. They claim a double dome sapphire crystal with AR coating. I don't know what the hell double dome means. I doubt there's two crystals, so a dome sapphire crystal we'll call it with AR coating. And they do this wonderful brass dial, antiqued in many spots, very high polish in other spots. And it's representing the Vegvisir, which is, some Viking traveler's wand. They're calling this the modern day Viking adventures dive watch. So, yeah, I mean, it's very well executed. It's got very solid links. I think the end links are hollow. I might be mistaken, but you get at them inside there by pressing in. Uh, so I think they're hollow links because you can't get at them through any type of drilled lugs. And the fit and finish is very beautiful. A lot of satin surfaces. Honestly, I've never seen this type of deal on the resting side where they have a bead blast cutout inside there. Screw down crown with their axe logo, their double axe, which is just like on their case back, a very deep bead blasted double axe. So yeah, this watch is very much so designed in America. Ceramic bezel. I will give you a lume shot. Let me charge it with my ultra bright Lumen Top PIMI, PIMI, which I reviewed previously. Let's lume it up. Let's blind my butt and lume it up. All right, that should be loomed. Shut that off, set it aside. I'm going to kill the lights. What do we got from this dive watch? My glowing screen seems to cause an issue with this. Now let's go full screen. So yeah, it's glowing very brightly. They used a great lume on the hands, on the indices, and even on the ceramic bezel. It glows very well. Oh, there we go. Maybe if I go off into the distance, you can see it glowing brightly, like the reflection on my glasses. So yeah, the lume works very great. They went with a very high quality, bright, reflective lume that lasts a while. I'm going to turn on the light again. Don't want to sit in the dark. Don't want to sit in the dark. Okay, now we're back discussing this watch. And yeah, it does feel very nice on the wrist. Fold over clasp. Let's get this back on here. Let's get this baby back on the wrist. Yeah, no, it feels very comfortable, and the bracelet is done very well. Like I said, I have a hairy wrist, And I'm not a bracelet guy. I am not a bracelet guy. I like leather straps. I love NATO's. So for me to actually say a bracelet is good, you've probably got a winner. You have probably got. I love this grainy texture of my cheap camera. That, my messy apartment, and me sitting in a robe is about as professional as we're gonna get. But honestly, like I said, I don't know. I get pretty fine details when I get right up there against my laptop lens. So maybe I get better. No, no, I'm gonna break the camera. I better sit back. Ah, yeah. So this, like I said, is called the Gunhild Faering Collection Vegvisir. Vegvisir. Let me get this off my wrist. Vegvisir is supposed to be that traveler's Viking wand that they did in brass slash copper slash bronze on Dell. And there's so much detail that my light is just not picking up on this. Let me see if I smack it with a little bit of light. If you can see some of these fine details they did on this carving. Okay, I'm gonna try some experiments here of hitting it with light. No, too much light. Yeah, I need a better camera setup. Maybe I will invest in one someday. Anyway, there is a lot of micro detail going on this dial. A lot of like cuts, a lot of cuts and splashes of color, even in the dark parts. But it's my camera's not picking up any of that. It looks very much like a micro quartz, like little hash marks of copper all throughout the dial, striations. It's rather lovely. Um, so yeah, I've had this watch wound up for about 24 hours now, and I think it's running about 13 seconds fast. Not too shabby. It's got a date wheel. So I want to talk about the movement. It's running on a Miyota 8215 caliber. I don't like this movement. That movement retails for about $50. I wish that the company, HeimsdaleWorkshop.com, I wish that they had spent a little bit more and went with the $100 Miyota 9015. And I'm going to explain to you why. The 8215 caliber does not hack. It doesn't hack. Kind of sucks on a modern watch that it doesn't hack. It's really hard to get the minutes and seconds lined up just perfect without that hacking. Also, with the 8215, it stutters. It's known to stutter. I thought I had a broken watch. I had to Google this nonsense, because for the first 30 seconds, it's like choppy stuttering. They're like, no, that's just part of the charm of the 8215 because it has a different gear or something that runs the second hand. It's not integrated, whatever mumbo jumbo caliber movement nonsense, but that's natural. It still keeps perfect time, but I don't like to see the hand like choppy stuttering for about half of every minute. I don't dig that. And if they'd have spent $50 more, they could have eliminated these problems. They're retailing this watch at HeimsdaleWorkshop.com for $395. Honestly, if they'd have went to like four and a quarter and thrown in a Miyota 9015 movement, I'd have been much happier. I'd really been much happier. I wouldn't have cared spending 50 extra dollars to go. Excuse me, I'm not going to edit that out. Um, I'd have been happier if they'd actually invested in the watch and gone with the Miyota 9015 instead of the Miyota 8215, which is a solid workhorse movement. It keeps a solid time. Like I said, I've had this wound up in my watch box for 24 hours now. I only gain plus 13 seconds, which for a mechanical movement is not that bad. I'm going to go on to my other fatal flaw hit of this watch, and that is the ceramic bezel. Thank you for going with ceramic bezel. Thank you for a 200-meter dive watch with a screw down crown and sapphire crystal. Thank you for all these wonderful things. But could you take a minute to align the bezel properly? Oh my God, that everyone hates that about bezels. It's like half a millimeter off in either direction. which I'm going to also mention. It is 120 click. It's got a coin edge. It's very tactile function, but the fact that it's misaligned by half a millimeter is such a killer for me. Let me go all the way back around. I want to show you what I'm talking about. Because the only two options you have are to leave it just slightly off to one side, which clearly, see, that's not aligned. If you click it once more, you're a little less off alignment, but to the other side. I mean, it's pretty well lined up. Is it nitpicky for this price range and what you're getting, especially if you're one of these Viking witchy men in this day and age? Yes, this is a fantastic watch. And honestly, I'm glad I bought it pre-sale. I bought it before it came out on the market from Heimsdale Workshop, which I'm going to put a link in the description. Um, I got it for $237.50. $237.50. And it's retailing now that the pre-sale is off for $395. Do I think this watch is worth 400 bucks or 395? Well, I did a breakdown. I did a breakdown to see what you're getting. All right, we got the $50 Miyota 8215 movement. Um, do I love it? No. I wish they'd spent 50 more dollars. I'd have spent 50 more dollars. Even back then, I would have paid $300 to get this watch if they went with the better movement. But Miyota 8215, it keeps good time. It's a workhorse movement. You just have to live with the stutter. It's still going to accurately keep time. So if it's like chopping for half a minute and then running, sweeping the rest, you just have to live with it. It's what that movement does. It's not a broken movement. It's what it's supposed to do. Ah, PBR in a Yeti. In a Yeti. I should do a review on the Yeti. Keeps every drop as cold out of the fridge from the first drop to the last drop. I'm a slow sipper. I drink my beer over an hour. Mm, ice cold. Oh, it's so cold. Love it. Cold lager. I'm an American. We like our lager icy cold. So, what that was? Oh, yeah, $50 movement. We're adding that up. And we got the sapphire crystal, sapphire domed AR crystal, looks gorgeous. I'm assigning that a $100 value because usually that's a $100 upgrade. Um, just arbitrarily assigning $75 value that they went with a sapphire, or not sapphire, ceramic bezel. I'm assigning $150 of value. That's a 200-meter dive watch with bright lume and a screw down crown. I'm giving it due where due is course. And then I'm giving it another $100 for the solid constructed clasp. That's not like a die cast. It's not cheap and flimsy. And the solid links, not the end links, but the rest are all solid. And they use screw-in pins, so they went premium there. You know, and when I tally up the cost there, I'm coming up with $425. $425. And that's not counting the fact that they went with this stunningly beautiful antiqued brass dial with a very Viking cultural heritage. I mean, I could honestly assign another $100 to the uniqueness of that, bringing the retail cost up to 525, 550 maybe. So yeah, at 395, what it's retailing for, absolutely, I think you should still buy this if you can live with the stuttering secondhand of the cheaper Miyota 8215 caliber movement, and if you can live with the ceramic dial, the ceramic bezel being just a hair off of perfect. I mean, it still lines up pretty good. I mean, you can see the 15, 30, and the 45 are just about where they belong. If you can live with that on this 120 click bezel, yeah, it's a very good first attempt for this new American watchmaker trying to make Viking style watches. I wish they had gone with the 9015. I really do. But this is a pleasurable watch. It brings me a lot of joy. I don't care that it's not so perfect in the movement. I don't care that it's not so perfect in the execution of the 120 click bezel. I can live with that, especially at the pre-sale price that I got at $237.50. Uh, but honestly, I still think it's a good purchase at $395, which it's retailing for now, and I will leave a link down in the description for their website where they have many Viking inspired watches. Some of them automatic, some of them wood carved, some of them quartz movements. Me being a watchman, I had to go with an automatic movement, mechanical movement. I need a mechanical movement. So yeah, I'm gonna leave the links in the description. I'm also gonna do a shout out to my first entry level luxury watch, which I've been running for about 3 days now. My Tudor Royal 41 millimeter black dial with diamonds, and show that up there. Which one drawback has horrible lume, stays lit for about 10 minutes in the dark, but that's not the purpose of this sports slash dress watch. What I'm showing you this watch again is in 3 days of it running, it's only -3 seconds. The first 2 days, it didn't plus or minus 0 seconds. It didn't move in any direction. I think by the third day, because I wore a different watch for a day, and this only has, I think, about a 36 or 38 hour power reserve. I think it was winding down. It slowed down. It lost about 3 seconds. But for a mechanical movement, a luxury watch, in 3 days to only lose 1 second a day, that's pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. I am still a big proponent that if you love the Tudor Royale line, you better buy them now. Buy them now. Don't sleep on it. They're going away. They are going away fast. They've only been out for a little over a year in the Asian and Middle Eastern market. They only came to Europe and America just a few months ago, and all the major distributors are selling out. The first one I wanted to buy, I spent 1,000 more dollars. I spent 4,000. I was happy buying that watch with the Roman numerals instead of the diamonds. And I waited 2 days to receive an email from Swiss Watches of America saying, sorry, we're sold out. We don't know when we're getting it back. We don't even know if we're getting it back. Here's your $4,000 back. Instant refund. Went on Jama Shop, found this diamond version because nobody's buying it. They didn't advertise this watch. They didn't advertise it. They didn't release this at Bezel World. Bezel World. They did not mention this watch at all. They just started slipping it into the market at their retailers. But all the reviews, watch the quality reviews, the non-grainy ones by professionals. They all say great things about this watch. And this 41 millimeter black dial, which is a black dial sunburst, which is very rare to get a black dial sunburst, with the diamonds, doesn't even take the hit where they cut off the Roman numerals for the day. It doesn't take that hit. It's got the sunburst black dial. It's got 8 natural diamonds. It's got 18 carats, solid gold bezel, solid gold crown. And the end links are capped in gold. And when I say capped, I don't mean plating. This is way beyond plating. There's a thick 0.5 millimeter of 18 karat solid gold just dripped around each one of the inner links of the band. I got in there with my jeweler's loop, and you can see how thick that gold is. So even if you pick up scratches on the band, you're never going to see steel. It's not like plating. It's a solid coating of gold. But even still, outside of that, you get the solid 18 karat gold bezel, the solid 18 karat gold crown, and you get 8 natural diamonds. I think this is going to be the model that jumps up in value as soon as you can't buy these for $3,000, $4,000. As soon as you can't buy them retail on the secondary market, I'm seeing $5,000 and $6,000 is my prediction for the Tudor Royal 41 millimeter two-tone watches in just a year or two. And down the road, I'm seeing a max value of $6,000 to $8,000. I don't believe this watch will ever be worth more than $8,000 realistically, because then you start to move into the price range of other luxury watches with more that you can get than the value. But for something that you can buy today, and it's a safe bet at $3,000 to $4,000, and you're going to double your money in a couple years, It's a win. It's a solid home run. It's a sleeper. Tudor snuck it onto the market. They didn't do one bit of advertising. They did not show this watch at Bezel World or any major release reviews for the year. They just quietly slipped it into the market. And now people are just starting, just weeks ago. Some of the biggest watch reviewers in the world on YouTube are just now reviewing this watch weeks ago. And if you go down their comments, selling, 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 buying one, they're just soaking these up. They're soaking it up. People love them, even despite some of their characteristic flaws. They're selling. So anyway, I'm not going to run this video on any longer. It's not even supposed to be about the Tudor Royale, but this was my entry level watch into entry level luxury watches. I've always stuck mid level, like the watch I just reviewed before this. I've always stuck to the several hundred to just under 1,000 mid level watches, whether it be Seiko or Tissot or Hamilton, like my Khaki King. I've always stayed in that mid tier. This was my first into the foray of luxury watches. So I've just got so much love going for this watch right now. I wasn't chasing the Rolex President, so this watch is perfect for me. I was chasing the features I love in a watch. My favorite features is a day date. I have so many watches in my collection that have the day date feature. I love day date. I'm a working man. I like looking at my wrist. I like seeing the day and the date. Outside of that, I love the screw down crown. So you can go swimming with this watch. So you don't have to worry about water resistance. I love the sapphire crystal. I don't have a sapphire crystal watch that's ever taken a crack, a nick, and I've worked in security fields. I've rubbed my watches against concrete and steel. Never put a mark on a sapphire crystal. I love the sapphire. So, sapphire crystal, day date, screw down crown, a splash of gold. And honestly, I love the two tone because honestly, I have gold jewelry and I have sterling jewelry, and it's such a mismatch. You're not supposed to wear gold and you're not supposed to wear it with silver. But if your statement piece watch is two tone and it's coming right out the gate with gold and silver, you can get away with wearing gold rings and silver rings together with this watch. I just love this watch. I can't say enough about the Tudor Royal. I'm so happy I picked this up. I'm going to love it for years. I don't even care if it doesn't become worth any more money. My true speculation is it is going to double in value in just a short time once nobody can get them. Honestly, the most popular model is the steel, the all steel one with the blue sunray dial. That one has the most potential right now to be a money maker at sitting around $2,000. But honestly, I think this one's going to go even higher, being that it has all the bells and whistles. It has solid gold. It has diamonds. It has the larger size, 41 millimeters. It has the day date. And that's just what's popular. So, anyway, I'm going to end this video. I'm going to put down my loving new Tudor. And I'm going to give you another shot of the. Oh, wow. Drinking beer and whiskey, it's hard for me to keep saying this tongue twister over and over for you guys. This is the Gunhild Faering Collection Vegvisir Adventure Automatic Dive Watch with ceramic bezel, screw down crown, that copper face. I recommend if you're watching this review and you want to know more about this watch, go look at more professional photos because this dial, it's just absolutely gorgeous. There's little copper like hairline, like shiny cracks all over it. It's kind of a unique thing. And if you're into the witchy or you're into the Viking style cult in America right now, this is a solid watch. It's a solid watch to buy. I think it's going to go up in value. I think it's always going to hold its value, if not become a little more valuable once you can't no longer obtain it. So that's my review. I'm Don Carlo, coming to you from Excelsior Trading in my robe, in my messy living room, in my grainy camera and lighting setup. But you know, when I get in close, you actually get a lot of details. You get a pretty good fair amount of details once I get right up in there. And my anchor ring. Yes, you'll probably see my anchor ring in a lot of videos. So, okay, coming in at 25 minutes, we are out of here. Goodbye.